Hi everyone, my name is Leo and with this video we will share a direct comparison between the Valeton GP-5 versus the ToneX One versus the SoniCacke Pocket Master. First of all, we will compare the features and technical characteristics of these units with the help of a very detailed comparison chart. Then we will hear more sounds also comparing these three units versus a real tube amp and performing our beloved Null Test, and finally I will give you my 2 cents. So I hope you enjoy and please subscribe and ring the bell as it would really help me to create more videos like this. Let's start. We will now compare the three units among the parameters shown in the screen, like IRs, I/O, etc. First of all, the Pocket Master and the GP-5 provide us with both modeling technology and profiling technology. The Pocket Master has 20 modeled amps and 15 cabinets and allows us to also load NAND profiles in 5 slots, but not natively converted in a Pocket Master proprietary format. The GP-5 has 32 amps and 20 cabs and, just like the Pocket Master, allows us to load NAND profiles converted in Valeton proprietary format in 80 slots, with 50 already preloaded with NAND profiles. The ToneX One, on the other hand, allows us only to load profiles trained with the IK multimedia proprietary format. I think that it is also worth noticing that with the ToneX One we can also use the so-called VIR cabinets, which are basically IK multimedia IRs in its proprietary format that allows us, for instance, to select the mics, the position of the mics across the cabinet, etc. I mean, it is of course a nice feature if you want to properly manage a cabinet and its mic, also customizing the position, etc. In the unit there are already 40 VIR cabinets preloaded. Furthermore, in the more sound section of this video we will check out how these profiles perform with our beloved Null Test. All the units allows us to load third-party IRs, the SoniCacke and the Valeton at 512 sample points, and I was not able to find info about the ToneX One sample points. If you know, please drop a message in the comment section below. In terms of presets, we have 100 presets for the Pocket Master and the GP-5 and 20 presets for the ToneX One. Let's now talk about effects and effects chain management. Here we have differences and similarities. All the units manage a signal chain of 9 effect blocks, including amp and cab. With the Pocket Master we have one noise gate, 19 effects among compressor, overdrives, etc. loaded in 2 blocks called FX1 and FX2 that are used basically to overcome the impossibility to replicate many times the same effect blocks, allowing us to have, for instance, 2 overdrives in the chain. Then we have 7 overdrives, 3 EQs, 9 delays and 10 reverbs. We can move the blocks in the chain, but as I said, we cannot replicate the same block many times. The GP-5 has one noise gate, 10 different effects included in the pre-blocks, which works basically like the FX1 and 2 of the Pocket Master. Then we have 10 overdrives, 5 EQs, 11 modulations, 10 delays and 10 reverbs. Like the Pocket Master, also for the GP-5 it is not possible to replicate the same block many times, and we can move freely the effect blocks in the chain. Lastly, with the ToneX One we have one noise gate, one compressor, one EQ, 5 reverbs, 5 modulation and 2 delays. Each effect can be pre or post, I mean before or after the amp, and we cannot replicate many times the same effect. Neither of the units offer physical MIDI ports, but all the units allows us to manage MIDI over USB-C. With the ToneX this is a bit more complicated. I mean, as far as I understood, it does not officially manage MIDI messages over USB, but I have seen some guys being able to intercept and manage the proprietary messages that ToneX uses to manage changes via USB-C. As regards inputs and outputs, here the units are very similar, as all of them have a guitar input and an unbalanced stereo TRS out that can be used also for headphones. As regards foot switches, the Valeton and the ToneX One offer a single foot switch that can be customized, for instance, in preset mode or stomp mode, where the Pocket Master does not have a foot switch. In terms of screen, the Pocket Master has the biggest one, the GP-5 has a pretty little screen and the ToneX One has no screen at all, but we can customize the colors of the lights. All the unit can serve as a 2x2 USB-C audio interface, but the Pocket Master and the GP-5 are at 16 bits and 44.1 kHz, where the ToneX is at 24 bits and 44.1 kHz. When used standalone, the Pocket Master and the GP-5 work both at 24 bits and 44.1 kHz, where the ToneX is not specified. If you know, please drop a message in the comment section. In terms of latency, both the Pocket Master and the GP-5 run at 5.2 milliseconds, where the ToneX has 1.2-1.3 milliseconds, so the ToneX here has clearly better performances. As regards special features, I would mention the Bluetooth 5 support of the Pocket Master and the Valeton, where for the ToneX I would mention the possibility to create our own profiles with a dedicated standalone application and the Amplitude 5 SE license included in the box. In terms of power needs, they are very similar, and it's nice to have all of the units that can be powered via USB-C. As regards dimension and weight, of course the Pocket Master has a different format and they are all very small, and the Valeton and ToneX are really similar. I have to say that the GP-5 is heavier and feels pretty sturdy and robust. And finally, as regards the price, the Pocket Master is the cheaper, followed by the GP-5, and finally we have the ToneX at $160. So finally, let me highlight the main differences in my opinion. First of all, I would mention that the Pocket Master and the GP-5 offers both modeling and profiling, where the ToneX has gone straight and only in the profiling way. The ToneX uses a proprietary profiling procedure, where the GP-5 and the Pocket Master both has chosen NUM, which is a pretty heavy format in terms of DSP power needs, and therefore they convert and simplify the neural network in a proprietary format. We will check out the tonal performances in the more sound section of this video. I would also mention that the ToneX manages the IK VIR cabinets, which are pretty nice to have in such a small format. The other difference is in the screen, as the ToneX One basically has no screen at all, that in my opinion is useful, for instance, at least to know the preset we are using. Then I would mention the audio interface, as the ToneX is the only one at 24 bits, where the other are at 16 bits. Another difference is in the latency, as the ToneX has better performances, and furthermore I would mention also the price, where of course the Pocket Master is really cheap. Finally, I would mention that the Pocket Master is the only unit which can be battery powered, which is an handy feature. Let's now jump to the more sound section of this video to check out if there are some significant differences in terms of tones, also performing our beloved Null Test. Welcome to the more sound section of this video. We will now perform two tests. In the first one, we will check out how these units perform in the Null Test versus a real Soldano SLO 100, where the Null Test is based on the principle that if we play two tones at the same time with one of them phase inverted, the lower is the resulting LUFS, the more the tones are similar each to the other. Then, with the second test, we will check out how these units behave in terms of dynamic range management and the note envelope. Let's start with the Null Test, with the ToneX versus the real Soldano SLO 100. We have minus 34.9 LUFS. And now GP-5 versus real SLO 100. We have minus 30.6 LUFS. And finally, Pocket Master versus real Soldano. We have minus 27.3 integrated LUFS. So summarizing, with the ToneX we have minus 34.9 integrated LUFS. With the GP-5 we have minus 30.6 integrated LUFS, and with the Pocket Master we have minus 27.3 integrated LUFS. Pretty interesting. The ToneX perform a bit better compared to the other two, maybe thanks to its proprietary format, where, as I said, the GP-5 and the Pocket Master convert num profiles in an internal format, and maybe in this conversion step there is a quality loss, having to simplify the neural network to fit inside these tiny units. Also because these units runs at 44.1 kHz, where typically num profiles are at 48 kHz, and therefore also here we have to do some conversions. Let's now go ahead with the second test about dynamic range and not envelope. Final considerations here, and please notice that these are gonna be my personal opinions for my specific use cases, and of course you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. Furthermore, the GP-5 and the Pocket Master has been sent to me for free, where I have purchased the ToneX one with my own money, even if IK Multimedia has given me the Joe Satriani ToneX one for free, also signing it with my name. So I would say that I'm in good relations with all these brands, but of course what matters here is you. I'm at your service, and of course, as always, I will tell you my own opinions without any influences or constraints, and this video is not sponsored at all. Having said that, let me try to recap where each unit shines, in my opinion, both in terms of technical characteristics and sound. On the Pocket Master and GP-5 side, we have the price, the screen and the modeling technology, which is not available in the ToneX one, where on the ToneX side we have the audio interface at 24 bits versus 16, the latency and the veer cabinet simulations, which are nice. Then I would mention that the Pocket Master is the only unit battery powered, which is an handy feature, especially when practicing. In terms of tones, the ToneX one has the edge in terms of Null Test, but here I think that for the price we can get a pretty good value for money with all these units. Then of course, if you are a profiler guy and you can create your own profiles, the ToneX has a whole ecosystem at your disposal, with a user-friendly interface for creating profiles, where the GP-5 and the Pocket Master rely on non-profiling procedure, which is less user-friendly, also being open source and free, on the other hand. Then I would mention that I see the Pocket Master as a more oriented device for practicing, being also battery powered and not having any foot switch, where the GP-5 and the ToneX one are more keen to be used in an ampless pedalboard, having also a foot switch. In terms of price, of course, the Pocket Master is hard to beat, but I think that all these devices are pretty low in price, and I would not make my choice based on that. Lastly, let me say that I'm impressed by the amount of features packed in these little devices and the tone we can get. Nowadays we are really lucky, as with a pretty low budget we can get very convincing tones. And now it's your turn. Please let me know your precious and valuable opinions in the comment section below. I'm really curious to know what you think about these devices. We have now reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell and leave a thumb up, as it would be of a great help. If you're interested in my IRs, NAM profiles or ToneX profiles, you can check out the link in the card above or description below, where there is also a link to a playlist of songs of mine and to my new EP Art, Love, Freedom. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.